question natin po. Because I was looking at the list here, and then merong tuyo, and
Yeah.
then daing na bangus. So those are not really manufactured in a factory or controlled, like, may like formulation siya. So those are created by our fishermen. And how are we gonna go about that? Ba natin sila? Or those packagings are not even labeled. Walang ingredients or something. So I don't know how to navigate around those. And of course, across the country, you can see all those kinds of products.
Exactly. That's why we have a high hypertension in Region 1 because they not processed food. But it's a really, those nuances must be discussed.
Good morning po again. I think gusto kong mag-add doon sa how we are going to implement the sodium reformulation. I think dun sa bill na filed by Rep. Nat and Rep. Gloria and other legislators, yung approach na gagawin is stepwise approach. This is in consideration, of course, of our culture, na mahilig tayo mga Pilipino sa maaalat na pagkain. Ngayon, may mga dry foods tayo. Ang dami nating sausawan. Kapag nagluto tayo ng... Which is masarap. Yeah, exactly. So, kasi embedded talaga sa culture natin. I think also in other neighborhood natin, or neighbor natin naman dito sa Southeast Asia, mahilig tayo sa mga sauces and condiments. So, yung approach na nandoon sa ating bill filed by legislators is the stepwise approach. So, paano gagawin yung stepwise approach? This is really hindi biglaan. This is also based on best practices across the world. South Africa, yung isa sa nag-conduct or nag-implement ng stepwise approach. Meaning to say, yung gradual, yung reduction ng sodium doon sa mga pagkain. Hindi kapag nabasa na yung bill is the first day of the implementation, okay, 50% reduction ng sodium. So, kumbaga, yung stepwise approach, mag-start tayo in identification, ano-ano yung mga food items sa Philippine food supply ang mataas ang contribution sa sodium consumption ng mga Pilipino. So, meron tayong data nito from the FNRI. I think baka is meron din. So,
I think we can crunch it.
Yeah. So kapag na-identify na ano yung mga food items na mataas ang contribution, so ito yung ita-target for the reformulation. Once na ma-identify and na-target na sila, yung reduction is gradual. So meaning to say, probably in the first 3 years, baka 10% reduction lang dun sa existing. And then, for the next 3 years, another 10%. So, hindi siya one step or one time, big time, na i-reduce yung sodium. This is because also, one is for the food industry to adjust the reformulation. Second is for the cultural context na mahilig tayo mga Pinoy sa maalat, yung palate natin para hindi mabigla, makapag-adjust yung mga Pilipino doon sa mas konting sodium content ng mga food items. So these are just a few, bakit ganito yung bakit stepwise approach yung gagawin sa sodium reformulation? It's really to prepare the food industry as well as the consumers for the sodium, sa pagbawas ng sodium doon sa food items.
So yung last question na, ano yung sinasabi when you do that? No? So when you do it, you abruptly shift, that might also, I'm not sure, I'm just thinking out loud, tama ba na it might also shift the demand into other unhealthy alternatives like higher sugar? May ganun po bang evidence? Kasi baka yun yung maging reason for the industry na ayaw namin ng salt because that, I mean, they gonna shift to other unhealthier alternatives. May sinasabi po ba sa evidence na doon or hindi naman?
Um,
Parang mag-shift ka ng, ano na trying to say?
yeah,
You will shift
yes.
to-
Pumili, nag-goes, pinapa-healthy mo yung isa, pero you
Yes.
transition to another unhealthier option. As of now, wala akong masabi na actual evidence or yung actual research saying that, but that is really an interesting point.
Parang need to cover all the bases.
Yeah.
What will the industry?
Yeah. So I think this is dito papasok yung the sodium reformulation is not a silver bullet na policy. That's why there are other healthy food environment policies or mga bills na nilalabi ngayon or na-file ng sa ating Congress. So we have yung restriction ng marketing of unhealthy food for the children and yung healthy food environment. And I think the one is, yung isa pa is yung front of pack warning label bills. So, because kailangan marami tayong mga policies because having just one is not enough. That's why I think nag-go beyond ako doon sa sodium reformulation, but I think that's one of the reason na mayroon tayong iba't ibang mga policies para maiwasan natin yung mga loopholes or yung mga unintended consequences. So, but yeah, I think yung sodium reformulation bill filed by our legislators are really based on evidence and the best practice that we have across the board.
These are very good questions. No? With regards to shifting to alternatives, this is for a different law or bill. But yung research backing front of package labeling, they saw that in the UK, and Mr. Bali, you can just check this, they saw in the UK, no, even if they reduce the sugar sa content, the amount of consumption of the products hindi bumaba. So most of the food industries or yung manufacturers natin saying na this would lessen the demand for our services. In that particular case, hindi bumaba. Actually, parang slightly tumaas pa if I'm not mistaken. But these products, yung revenues nila stayed the same, but the amount of sugar in the products were lower. So still not healthy, they're still drinking Coke, they're still drinking soft drinks, but lower yung sugar. And with the point doon sa, we still have yung S&Ps natin, maraming benta ng tuyo, ganyan. No? I think from a policy perspective, this is where yung conscious decision natin of attacking or approaching policy where it is feasible comes into play. Because I'm not sure how to also regulate yung ating mga gumagawa ng tuyo. Sa amin sa Samar, meron kami tinatawag Latinaw, tatay ko gumagawa niyan everyday. Kanina yung kinain ko. So hindi natin alam kung paano siya ma-regulate. Hindi ko alam paano ma-regulate yung tatay ko, but I do know that we have a few manufacturers, no? Bilang natin sa kamay, bilang yung gumagawa ng pancit canton, ng delata. And sila lang yung kailangan mag-adjust. So, of course, there is still, no, we're still talking to EI, no? May mga sabihin sila mga concerns. I think with the iodized salt experience before, baka feeling na nasunog sila and that had detrimental effects to the salt industry. But I digress. With regards to the policy approach, I think we don't have to be distracted for now doon sa tuyo, no? Very complex yung regulation doon. But for this one, this is feasible, doable, it has been done in other countries. And specifically, like for our neighbors in Thailand, I just searched, may sodium tax na sila. Even that is more, kumbaga as a, compared to this one, parang mas scorched earth na kanilang taxation, lahat ng sodium na taxa nila. But they're deliberately doing that because also of the health benefits of population.
follow-up questions po from the media.